Hey everyone, welcome back. I know it feels like it's been ages since I uploaded anything, but I've been caught up with some IRL stuff that kept me pretty busy. I barely had time to work on videos, but now I'm finally free. And here we are, back in action. In today's video, we're going to discuss the KWC 2025 Grand Finale match. Honestly, it was one of the best matches I've ever seen in KWC history, and it was pure bliss to watch my two absolute favorite teams face off. One team is known for their relentless aggression, while the other plays in a calculated, methodical way, always thinking a few steps ahead. Yes, I know I'm pretty late to analyze this final, but trust me, that doesn't matter. I'm confident you'll still learn something new from this breakdown. A lot of people have been requesting me to cover these games, so here we are. Watch this whole video to get inside the mindset of what was probably going through the heads of some of the best players in the KPL. I guarantee you'll gather a ton of knowledge today. As usual, we'll start by discussing their BP phase, meaning the draft, and then we'll move on to the actual game. So without further ado, let's get started. So first, we're going to analyze the very first match of the KWC 2025 Grand Finale between AG and TTG. Looking at the BP of this match, meaning their draft picks, we can see that the clash lanes are even, with Charlotte and Dharma both being on par with each other in this game. The junglers and mid laners are also quite evenly matched between both teams, so there isn't much to say about them. As for the ADC, or the farm lane, this one is TTG favored because Loon gets easily countered by Consort U. Both comps are equally strong in team fights, but because of Dharma, I'd say TTG might be slightly stronger overall. There isn't really much to discuss about the BP of the first game, but the second game's BP is where things get interesting, because Zoe picks his main champion, and our favorite champion from this game, Jing. Now that we're done discussing the draft phase of Game 1, let's move on to the game analysis and break it down in a way that makes it easier for you to understand the players' perspectives and their decision making during the match. Let's get into it.
Son, let's go! Alright. So
at the start of the game, Yinuo swaps lanes with Sheng since Luong gets countered by Consort Yu, which I already mentioned in the draft phase analysis, so both Yinuo and his roamer Shui end up in the mid lane. On the other hand, Zoe quickly clears his pigs, meaning he starts from pigs instead of taking red first. Why? Because red buff takes longer to clear, and he doesn't want to miss a single minion wave, especially the first mid wave. So he takes pigs, then instantly heads to mid to clear it. Meanwhile, TTG's Sunrise, Crane, and Joy also start mid, but Sunrise doesn't start with pigs like Zoe. This means that when TTG clears their first wave, their jungler will still be level 1, while AG's jungler will already be level 2. In other words, AG is outsmarting them right from the start. This also means TTG will take slightly longer, even if it's just by a second or two, to clear their red. Of course, both teams' roamers help accelerate their jungle clears. Usually this is more common when your team is running a blue-collar jungler, since blue collars naturally clear slower. But doing it with a damage carry or tempo jungler works fine too. Roamers helping the jungler speed up farming is always valuable.
your teams 1 second, 5 seconds, allowing Zoe to also.
At 105, Shui, being Shui, abandons his ADC and heads to the clash lane to help Rand get wave priority. Meanwhile, Zoe decides to clear the mid wave after finishing his red buff, unlike TTG who went straight to blue, ignoring the mid wave and then rotated to the clash lane. This choice means Zoe will have less tempo overall, but more gold in comparison. And honestly, he doesn't really need the tempo here. At this level of play, it's nearly impossible to successfully gank TTG's marksman. After all, it's Consort U with flash, plus a small dash from her ultimate, and a speed boost from her second skill. Of course, there's nothing wrong with TTG's approach either. By skipping the mid wave, they secured the clash lane's spirit chest, denying Ran any extra gold. While all this is happening, Yinuo rotates the bot lane to catch the wave Sheng was holding for him, then immediately helps Zoe accelerate his jungle clear after taking the farm wave.
But they are not alone. TT Global as well, they are showing up. And right away, 3-on-3 in the mid.
At 147, Yinuo, Shui, and Zoe rotate back to mid to clear the wave, and TTG, catching the scent like a pack of wolves, mirror the move immediately.
A double-edged sword, right? So right now, Sunrise gets 1 steal. It's a small advantage once again.
Here, same as before, AG's trio moves to the blue side, with everyone helping Zoe clear his jungle faster. But there's a trade-off. No one is left to defend against TTG stealing their pigs, so AG ends up losing them. This is one of the reasons you sometimes see AG fall behind early. They prioritize gold over tempo in the early game. With all three grouped up, everyone's getting a share of gold, but they miss out on certain fights. Looking at the gold now, AG is slightly ahead, especially Ran and Zoe. Thanks to everything mentioned earlier like Shui helping Ran clear waves without risk, the team helping Zoe clear his jungle faster, and him not missing the mid wave. Yinuo and Sheng also switch lanes back, since during the 4-minute mark, Lady Zhen is much more useful than Lun. She can rotate and potentially catch enemies off guard with her CC.
He is forced to use the Dream Roam here. They do not have the position for this Tyrant. Yeah.
At 420, TTG snatched the dragon right from AG's mouth. All because Qing roamed in first and Joy's Mosey was just way too annoying to deal with.
Even that out with manpower. Exactly, and look at that. Like you mentioned there, manpower, making sure that Yinuo gets a safe laning phase, but
here, TTG manages to force Yinuo back, as Snowy was incredibly accurate with her skill 1, and on top of that, Mosey was once again being unbearably annoying.
Global, they're looking for that advantage. And look at Zoe though, he's looking for a flank angle here. Sunrise, he's going in deep as the Cannon Blast has landed. Yeah, it's not going to be too much trouble for the side of AGAL, but still, that Azure Golem is under pressure. Zoe, forced to use the Dream Roam, actually turns around.
TTG tries to use their tempo advantage to invade and steal AG's blue buff, but AG defends it brilliantly, easily one of my favorite highlights of this game.
Superior positioning. I'm loving AGAL's play here, but Snowy here gets first blooded by Ron! And Ron, he makes it out. The stun does come in. He will be in the face, and they have to commit this big ultimate Joy. He's going to run and try and get the chase, and they should be able to get this.
Solo kill. That's insane. Ran is such an aggressive player, and that's both his greatest strength and sometimes his biggest weakness. I still remember during the KPL finale when he was on Sun CE, he just kept overextending and dying, which ended up costing AG one of the matches. This time, even though he went down, he forced both TTG's mid and roamer to rotate over, giving AG the perfect opportunity to invade and steal TTG's blue buff.
Board, AGAL is securing almost a 2,000 goalie as Ron once again goes in for the dive.
Yeah, Joy looking to use the think inside the box. It's not going to be enough to keep him away. Jai gets taken.
Once again, Ran goes aggressive and secures a kill. After that, the smartest move is not to waste time, but to head straight to the clash lane and push it out for extra pressure. Many players would see a 5v4 or even 5v3 situation and get tempted to force a fight, but at this level, it's rare for opponents to make the mistake of engaging in those numbers, so there's no need to force it. Here, AG shows discipline. Despite having a big lead, they avoid unnecessary risks. Instead, they push the wave, invade TTG's jungle, take the dragon when it resets, and then repeat the process.
The rest of AGL are free to choose. And we have to see here what AGL has in store.
With the Troop Launcher as well. It's going to be Jing. It gets a kill onto Ron. Traded over. Sunrise goes down.
Ran flashes in and lands a great engage with Menki. Sure, he dies in the process, but that play essentially sealed the game. You'll notice this is classic Ran, willing to die if it means securing the kill. And that's how the first game ended, with AG securing the first victory and taking one step closer to the trophy. Personally, I enjoyed this match, though I know some of you might feel there wasn't much action, and you may be right. But the next game we're going to discuss is going to be an absolute roller coaster ride, so that's it for Game 1. Let's move straight into the next one. As for the second game, this one's far more interesting to me for many reasons. One of them being Zoe's decision to pick Jing here. And following our tradition, we'll first go over the BP phase before diving into the match itself. Looking at the draft picks from both teams, it's clear the clash lane is slightly Fatih favored, meaning TTG has the advantage there. Even though Fatih edges out the lane, Sun CE is much better at split pushing and initiating teamfights, thanks to his ultimate, or as I like to call it, his boat. Mid is harder to judge since both sides clear waves equally fast, but she does have the stronger early game. Also, mid-wise, Gan and Mo serve as damage dealers while she is more of a control mage, so not much else to add there. For the roamers, both teams picked Engage and CC specialists. Liang focuses on single target lockdown without a dash, while Lian Po offers AoE control and a dash. Farm lane is only slightly Huyi favored, but Huyi also brings his bird, his ultimate, which offers long-range crowd control. Jungle matchups are pretty even, but Jing will have a tough time here since the enemy lineup is packed with CC. That means it's entirely up to Jing to play flawlessly. Similarly, TTG's heavy crowd control can easily cancel Liang's ultimate, making it difficult for him to have an impact. However, if Liang does manage to land a good engage, Ganonmo plus Jing can easily delete the target. Overall, I think AG's draft has higher damage potential than TTG's, but they lack a solid front line. TTG's damage output, on the other hand, is enough to threaten AG. Personally, I'd say TTG's draft is slightly better, mainly because it's going to be very hard for either Liang or Jing to play comfortably in this match. That's it for the draft phase analysis. Now let's break down the actual game and note the key points or valuable insights we can take away from this match.
From the side of AGAL, that is their strong suit coming into the series.
This game, AG decides to go for a standard start because of the matchups. Since Zoe is on Jing, a damage carry jungler, she doesn't need early acceleration or extra help from her teammates.
Leading towards the top side here. If you look at the map, there seems to be more commitment.
Here's the mirror domain who finds Jing. He's actually trying to just get to safety. He's at about half life. But now here comes the reinforcement. Sunrise looking to go on to Joey. Joey actually just dodging it throughout. And Joey with that first ramp.
Snowy, this late game potential that you have is getting pressured so hard.
Okay, let me explain.
At 145, if I were that Jing, I would have definitely died there, lol. AG must have known it was a 3v4, but they went for it anyway. And it paid off, giving them a huge lead. In the bot lane, or farm lane, if Joy hadn't teleported back to Snowy, Snowy would have likely lost an entire wave of minions by recalling to base, which would have put Snowy at a huge disadvantage already, as missing a wave means missing a ton of gold.
The common spell is a very long duration. Yeah, look at bottom side.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to give up first blood.
Wow, Yinuo just 1v2s and still gets a solo kill. But, hello? How? Well, let's just say Snowy's lane is basically over at this point.
Minor objectives, so small camps, the board.
Major team fights, yes, that's a wave. But look at Jing.
Control. Here's with the set sail. The connection is on point with those blades and shit.
When Zoe's on a damage carry hero, his teammates usually give him full control of mid instead of sharing it. This funnels the most crucial gold into him while freeing Shuai to roam more. That's exactly how he managed to catch and kill Qing. Qing thought Shuai was heading bot because he'd given fake vision and even pretended to walk that way, only to get ambushed instead.
Man, if they get what's on the screen that you're watching, that's a bug. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter indeed. And look at Yinor and Ran here instantly driving that set sail, sending Yinor to another puddle of farm at the front.
Yinuo literally took the boat to Clash Lane, lol, grabbing 2 waves back to back. He clearly means business, anything for those minion waves.
Yep, the small actions do matter. Zoe does catch eyes on Joy, but he doesn't want to get him. Yeah, but the mirror domain with that control, that should be enough. And it looks like he's got the shield and the...
Here, Hao Yi came in clutch. They almost got Joy, but his ultimate saved him.
Who does he want to get his ultimate on? Sunrise decides to go in. The Burning Sun arrow right on point. But they had the Silky Orb. They pull him away, and they get the connection, and they find Ron. But they're going to continue on. The mirror domain. Sunrise getting a little bit low. You know, with that pickoff.
You know, with that pickoff, and right now, if your jungler is down, once again, rinse and repeat, your jungle will be on fire right now.
They've got the first ram. Joy is still there. The Crimson Golem have been stolen away, but Joy...
With the crucial spells here.
Here's the mirror domain yet again, and they find him under tower, and Joy with that one, and now here's the set sail, gets the connection, and he goes right in, and Ron blow.
Just sit back and watch AG flex their mechanics all over TTG.
Goes wide here, it does not hit anyone here, but look at Ron, he's looking for engage.
Yeah, so he's going to go in, he goes with the mirror domain, finding Joy. Joy's just trying to stay alive, he's going to be picked, but the control is right on top of Sunrise, who has to dash away. The top T2 is taken out, Sunrise been picked as well, but it looks like Ron...
God damn. When will I be able to pull this off? No macro commentary needed here. It's pure, raw mechanics. I really wish I could play Jing like this.
He is farming money, almost 1,000 GPM.
Burning Sun arrow does connect, and doesn't have the orb though. And now Joey on the backside looking to go for the ambush, but Joey in a bad spot. He gets picked off, Snowy with that damage. The nice Tremor Smash on the 3, but
oof, Jing fucked up here. After Zoe ulted, he wanted to do 1A to the Flowborn to refresh his ult, but he used his basic attack too early and missed it. If he had landed that auto, AG would have won the game. TTG played it really well though. They saw Sheng overextending and landed an arrow on him, CCing him. Then Flowborn CC'd Zoe under the tower, and oh well.
More healthy as the game goes on.
Tyrant's right about to go down and wants to go in. The Burning Sun arrow will connect, but Joey already takes the Tyrant. That's the first one of the game, and now Ron on the backside. He's going to be running, and Joey in a bad spot. He does take out Snowy before he goes down. Now Joey trying to run away, but they do have the stuns. Those blades are just doing way too much damage, all under 3, but they're not getting the pick. Sunrise is still up in front, and now AG, they want Sunrise. They're trying to find him, and they're not able to catch him with those blades. Yes.
LOL, Shuai flashed the Hao Yi arrow, and it ended up landing on Yinuo. As I mentioned before, he never really cares about protecting Yinuo. It was funny, but I've gotta applaud Shuai's reaction time. AG didn't perform well in this teamfight. Sheng missed a lot of his shots, which is unusual since he's one of the most accurate Gan and Mo players in the KPL. And once again, Zoe got overconfident, just like me, literally doing exactly what I tend to do in most of my matches.
Right now, Jing under pressure.
Yeah, he's going to be running away. I think he's going to be just fine.
It's going to be attempted by the side of TT Global.
If they had just played it safe here, they could have won with their gold lead, but instead they got way too bloodthirsty for kills. Literally 5 people went after Jing for no real reason, and they ended up losing the Overlord. It wasn't a total disaster since they managed to kill Joy later on, but then they overstayed for the tower. From this point onward, you can see AG getting rushed and uncoordinated, which is exactly why they lost the following games. What they should have done was clear out the dragon, then the minions in the side lanes, wait for things to respawn, take a few jungle camps, and go for the next dragon with wave priority.
Yeah, looking to go. He does have the connection, but Sunrise is going to be right in front. The orb is going to pull Ron in a bad spot. He's going to go down, and now with that stun, and here we go. Jing with...
Ran loves to engage. Like I mentioned in the previous game, he's incredibly aggressive. His idea here wasn't bad at all, but the enemy reacted to the boat so fucking fast. Even so, AG is still ahead at this point. They could easily just play it safe and even give up the dragon if needed.
Go for this one. The Tyrant is going to get a little bit low. They've got the connection. They've got the control. They do have the burst damage. Sunrise, he just gets instantly deleted, and now Jing is on the run. But Snowy got the Tyrants. Joy is looking to go down as well, and they've got Yinuo.
Okay, nice catch, but Snowy, he does the win.
AG clearly didn't want to take a 4v5, but wow, their positioning for this dragon fight was just bad. One day I swear I'm going to show you how to actually position for these dragon fights. Zoe did go in and absolutely one-shot Sunrise and Joy, but then Yinuo decided to flash forward and mint it. Come on.
Yeah, he is that potential turnaround. Sunrise is still alive. He does have his smite. Potential still on the way.
So he takes that one with that Overlord, and now Sunrise taking some damage.
If you look at Zoe's build, you'll see he had enough gold to swap to Sage's Sanctuary, but he chose not to, thinking he'd be fast enough to switch at mid-fight. That was a bad idea.
Be that potential one. Joy looking to go in with that Tremor Smash, trying to get in, but Joey actually gets the Tempest, and Shang with that passive just barely staying alive, but Joey's going to be killed. Jing is going to use his Sage's Sanctuary. Sunrise still up in front. He's trying to work on the Shuai just to take him down, but Snowy has to flash away. He's going to back off, but he's going to get focused down. Try to cut out Ron with that pull, and it looks like TT Global with a 4-1 advantage continuing on. They want to go for Yinuo, and they will get the...
Shang didn't switch to Sage's Sanctuary either. What AG should have done was recognize they had a stronger late-game comp with Gan and Mo, slowly push out waves, and secure jungle vision. Gan and Mo could poke TTG out since TTG had no range, while Ran and Zoe looked to engage from the side or back. But they didn't do that, and by the 16-minute mark they should have realized their last dragon before the Elder was coming, with Zoe being the only one holding a Sage's Sanctuary, which is huge. They should have set up at Tyrant early, had Ran clear side lanes, and if TTG tried to contest, Gan and Mo would 100% poke them out, and Zoe could easily engage with Sage's Sanctuary. That said, I don't like to criticize pro players too much. Maybe they saw something I didn't. No disrespect to any of them. And that's how TTG secured the win and tied up the series at 1-1. The score is even now. This video turned out longer than I expected, so I'll cover the rest of the games in the next part. I hope you enjoyed my breakdown, and just to clarify, I'm not here to criticize pro players. I highlight mistakes so you can learn from them or get a deeper insight into the game. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. We're so close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. My goal is to reach 10,000 by the end of this year, and I'm ready to work hard and bring you even more quality content. Share your thoughts, your own analysis, or anything you've noticed about the KWC 2025 Grand Finale in the comments. And if you're able to, you can support me further by joining the channel membership. It would be a huge motivation and help me pay the rent. See you in the next one, my W subscribers. Love you all.